Hey everybody, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Welcome to a new playthrough video. Today I'm playing 2d6 Dungeon / Realm. I don't have the actual book yet for 2d6 Realm, so I'm using it on my iPad, the PDF version. But if you watched the last video, which you should go back and watch, I have created a new hero who has claimed some land, and I'll be exploring this land and also delving into a dungeon and things like that. Now, yesterday, or when I played this last, which was yesterday, I was at turn number 2 in month number 1. And there's a bunch of things you can do during a turn. Well, you can only do one action per turn, but there are like 6 actions. You can explore a new land, which is what I did. You can construct a building or structure or upgrade a building in a land. You can return to and resolve an encounter or explore a discovered site. And by that, what I mean is on some of these, you might find like an abandoned tower or a tomb. And those are areas that are like little mini versions of 2d6 Dungeon, and they have their own rules for exploring them. You can visit the High Actuary, who is sort of like the ruler of the land. You can explore the dungeon, which I may be getting to today, and you can visit the town. You can only visit the town once per turn, and that's to do things like buy things, trade, stuff like that. So yesterday, when I was playing, I explored some hills and an area that had a building on it. But what I didn't do was I didn't roll for what I discovered. This was something I forgot to do. Anytime you explore a new area, there's another set of charts that you'll roll on, which is called, there's a word for it. It's not exploring the site, it's encountering. The word is encountering the site. So I need to encounter these hills. On page 89 of the book, every one of the different types of areas that you can find has a set of detailed, table where you'll roll 2d6 and add them together. And so you'll get an answer, you'll get a result from 2 to 12, and that will determine what is on this plot of land. So let's do the hills right now. I rolled an 8, so that's on the next page. For plot number, for this, it says, the grassy hills tumble away in front of you. This is broken by clumps of bracken and small boggy patches. But after some time, you spot a wooden structure. It is a barn that appears to have been abandoned, although it is in good condition. This can be explored if you want. Roll on ABBAT1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little barn structure here. I'm going to label it a barn because I don't know. There's a barn. It says you can explore it. Go to ABBAT1. ABBAT1 is abandoned barn. T1. So that is one of the steps, the 3 steps that I can do. There's 6 of them. That was my turn. So now we go to turn 3. So on turn number 3, I could choose to explore this. However, right now, I'm not sure I want to, but let's do it anyway. All right, so I'm going to go to page 147. 147. ABB, and the encounter tables are also in alphabetical order, which helps. Here we go. ABB, ABITT1, abandoned, that's abandoned items. Abandoned barn, here we go. It is also 2d6, and you add them. I got a 5. 5 is, the barn is rotting. The beams above unstable. It cannot be used, but as you go to leave, you spot a sack in the corner. You can run for it. Roll a d6. On a 1 to 2, a support tips and hits you. Lose 2 hit points per level. On a 3 to 4, you reach the sack, but it falls apart. There's nothing inside. 5 to 6, you grab it and run. Roll on BT2 in the original core rules table. Let's try it. Why not? Let's go for it. I need a 5 or 6. I got a 2. It says a supporting beam hits you, lose 2 hit points per level. So right away, my hero is going to lose 2 health. So I'm going to go, I'm going to go into here, and my health is now 8. So, and that barn has been explored. So now we go to turn number 4. Actually, that would have been turn number 3. That was turn number 3. But also, let's go explore. Let's go encounter the building that I discovered, and that should have been done on like turn number when I encountered it. So hold on. So on turn number 1, I explored these, and then I would have found the barn, and then turn number 2, I would have explored the barn or encountered the barn. Then turn number 3, I would have explored to find this building, and then I would have, so I explored and I found the building. So on turn number 4, exactly, I would have gone and encountered it. So let's encounter it. This is on page 77. I rolled an 8 again. All right, for a building number 8, it says, you emerge from some trees into a secluded area where you see a 3-level tower. Oh man, 3-level tower. You have heard about these structures. They are repurposed border towers and were once part of an ancient kingdom. You can explore the tower if you wish. If the tower is left unexplored, gain the atrophy mysterious tower. If cleared, the tower can be added as a building and serve as a manor. Well, right now, I'm not going to explore it. So what it means by atrophy is it's something that I'm going to have to work on and repair in my land. So I will go back here, and under the under my realm ledger, atrophy, I will write 3-level tower. All right, atrophies can work against you, and let me go back to the book and I'll tell you how that works. So it's called wellness. Your kingdom is either healthy, good wellness, or unhealthy, bad wellness. And it all involves, wellness, realm wellness. Okay, it's a new stat for 2d6 realm. It begins at 0. Apply any modifiers, even if you have no houses or manor, if you happen upon something that may adjust realm wellness. This represents a type of environment new areas are coming into. When you're so I assume it's -1. If I go back to that page for building number 8, it says refer to places to explore. If the powers left to explore, gain the atrophy mysterious tower. So it's not related to wellness, it's an atrophy. Sorry. And again, I'm just learning this game, so please bear with me. An atrophy is not necessarily going to affect the wellness. It's something that I have to take care of. Explore a site. Here we go. If you don't explore it, once you've established the land, you mix it. Okay, I'm just going to leave it there. It may affect something negatively, and if I find out later that I owe money or something, I will retroactively pay it. So we are now up to turn number 5. I can explore one more land, which is what I want to do, and then I'm going to head down to the dungeon, mainly because I need some money. I got to pay taxes when this hits 6 and this rolls over to 2 second month. I need to pay taxes. So let's explore one more land. Now, this building was a unique structure, and I'm just going to indicate that by a U. Unique structures only take up 1 plot of land, and you can only have 2 next to each other. So let's choose to explore right here, this one next to the tower and the hills. So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to page, where was it? To encounter, explore, new plot, roll to determine the type of land. It's TT, there's so many, all right, it's type of land. Okay, here we go. So I roll 2d6, green is high. I rolled a 5-1. 5-1 is an old well. All right, so there's an old well. And this is 2b2, 3 OW. And by the way, in the first video, I told you wrong. As you explore, that number is going to increase. So the first thing I did was hills. It has a number 1. Second one was the building, so it gets number 2. The third one is this old well, number 3. So they increment, and then you put the letters for it. So this is number 3, old well. This is my third exploration of a new plot. There's a well, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go find out what the picture is for the well. And if you remember, there's a 2D version and a 3D. The well is an old well. It's real simple. It's just a circle within a circle. All right. An old well. Now, it is also unique. So I will put a U there. And the old well, by the way, page, where was it? Page 177. The old well has a value, old well. It is unique and it has a rank of 4. So I need to go, and I'm going to claim, oh, you know what? I can't just necessarily claim it. Let's roll the die. A 3 to 6, I can claim it. I can claim it. I will do that. So I'm going to go, and write that in to my land log. So I've got, this is 2BU, 3 old well. It is an old well. And it's a size 1 and a rank of 4. Okay, this rank mod will happen if you ever have more than 2 uniques next to each other. You have to re-roll for a basic land type, and whatever that land type is, it will add a modifier to the areas that touch it, if I understand the rules correctly. All right. By the way, the taxes will be paid in silver coin. So you take the size times the rank. So I'll pay 6 silver for the hills. I'll pay 2 for the tower, and I'll pay 4 for the old well. So 12 silver coins, which is 1.2 gold coins. So I don't have any money right now, so I definitely need to go explore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the dungeon. Now, the dungeon, I believe the way the dungeon works, or the way I read the rules, is it's out there. You know where it is, you just enter it, and there you go. So to do that, I'm on 5-1. I'm going to have to remember that. To do that, I'm going to turn this sideways, and I'm going to create a new dungeon. And I can set that aside, and I'm going to return to the old book, or the original book, 2d6 Dungeon. Now, my character, I'll get to my character. Excuse me. And we're going to start with the entry. Now, if you've never played 2d6 Dungeon, this may not make sense to you. Excuse me. My allergies, by the way, are killing me. We are going to start with an entry room. So you roll 2d6. My green is x-axis, the red is the y-axis. You re-roll doubles and add them to the original. I rolled a 5x4. So and it always has, an entry room always has 3 doors, well, 3 corridors that branch out. So I have a 5x4 room. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, 4, excuse me. No, that's wrong. It's 5 this way. 5x4. And I hope you can see this. I'll adjust the camera a little bit. There we go. All right. So this is the entry room where I start. I can pick any of these corridors to move through, so I will move through the north. Let's go east. I always make it north to this way. So let's go east to this door. Through this corridor, you basically are going to try to encounter another room. 5x5, which is a big room. So 5 by 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then you roll to see how many exits, and that's a D6. On a 1 to 3, on a 1, no exits. 2 to 3 is 1, 4 to 5 is 2, and a 6 is 3. I got a 3, which is 1 exit, so I will put that going north. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 room, 5 by 5, and it has 1 exit going up, like that. You roll to see. You can roll to see what type of door that is. There's a chart back here, if I can find it. Oh no, it's in this room. Sorry. So we're going back to a level 1 dungeon, and for a level 1 exit, we roll right here. That is a 6-3, which is portcullis. So the portcullis has this symbol. It's like bars. So that it's usually closed. There's usually a lever somewhere outside that opens it. So right now I am blocked from leaving this room. But before I do, I have to figure out what is in this room. And for that, I go to page, it's a normal size room, so I'm going to go to level 1 rooms, the entry, page 42. So you turn to page 42, you roll 2d6. I got a 6-2. So this is going to be room number 1. And a 6-2 is damp space. Damp space says, there is a leak dripping down from above, so the space is abandoned and wet. This was a 6-2. And it says, you must fight a fungal creature. Roll a d6. On a 1 to 3, it is a musty bloater. On a 4 to 6, it is a fungal geist. And, oh, it says it's a wood door. I did not have to, I didn't have... If it says random, you roll for random. Otherwise, it'll tell you what door. So this is a wood door. Wood door is just got the line through it. Okay, wooden door. And you still have to roll to see if it's locked. Let's do that. Is it locked? A 4 is only metal doors are locked. Okay, so it is unlocked. I'll put a little U here to indicate it's unlocked. But now I roll a d6 to see what we fight. I rolled a 5, which is a fungal geist. All right, this game, you can use, the monsters are in the D6 dungeon book here. They're in the back. But you can also, if you want, you can order cards, which is what I've done. So the fungal geist, these are in alphabetical order based on level. They have the level in the upper right corner, the name, and the stats. I will throw this card up on the screen, and we're going to do some combat. So again, if you're familiar with 2D6, you probably already know how this happens. But if not, I'm going to explain it in this one video, and later I'll just touch on it. So my health right now is 10, and I'm going to use 2D6 to indicate that. So, or 2D10, excuse me. I put a 1 and a 0. 10 health. I have no XP. My shift, I'm a level 1, so my shift is 2. This is how many times you can, this is how many points you can shift a single die, up 1 or 2, or down, actually, hold on. Is that right? Hold on, 2, yes. I can shift it as, I can shift 2 points, 2 dice, 1 up, 1 down. Or one, both up or both down or whatever. We'll show you. The fungal geist has 5 hit points. So I'm going to put 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. This is a fungal geist. And if I beat it, I get 6 hit points, or 6 XP, excuse me. And it has 1 shift. So it also can do funny things. Now my armor block, I only have an armor of a jerkin, and it's a primary 4. I use a green dice for primary and a red for secondary. Anytime the monster attacks me with a primary dice that rolls a 4, I will subtract 1 from the damage. But I get to go first, and I will roll a green and a red. And so I have 2 what they call maneuvers. These are 2 skills with my weapon that I have, and I'll put these up on screen for you. One is a hack, one is a heavy slash, and each one of them requires different numbers on the die. I rolled a 4 and a 5. Now, if you look at the screen, you'll see that a hack requires a 4-2. A heavy slash requires a 6 and a 4. I have 2 shift. I don't have to change the 4. I've got the 4 locked in. But the 5 with a shift of 2, I can only reduce that to a 3. I cannot get it down to a 2. So that is a miss. I also can't get this up to a 6 and that 5 to a 4 without running out of shift. So I miss, and it goes to the enemy's turn. The enemy, if you look at the card, it has a maneuver called a mycelium lash, which is a 3-3. With a 4, 6, and 1 shift, it cannot change that to a 3-3, so it misses. We are also tracking rounds, so I will be using a combat die on the shift die adjustment and the combat fatigue die. It starts at 1, and then every combat it goes up. So now we're at combat number 2. When we get to 4, we'll start adding shift adjustments. I'll get to that. So right now there is no shift adjustment. I'm still at 2. I will attack, and I got a 2-5. With my 2 shift, I could change this to a 4, but I can't get that to a 2. And I also couldn't get this to a 6-4. I was at a 2-5. There's no way I could get that to a 6-4. So I miss. The fungal geist rolls and gets a 4-1. Again, with 1 shift, it cannot hit its 3-3. We go up to round number 3. I rolled a 3-2, which with my shifts, I can make this a 4-2. I only used 1 of my shift, but it was enough to get me to a 4-2. The damage is D6 minus 2. Now, if you look at the card, remember how I have armor? The enemies also sometimes block on things, and it says an interrupt. It has a rubbery hide which blocks on secondary 4s. So I marked that by putting a red 4 here. If this had been a 4 and had been a hit, it would have done -2 damage, but it did not block on my secondary 2. So the damage is D6 minus 2. So I will roll a D6 if I can find it. And I rolled a 5. 5 minus 2 is 3 damage, so it takes 3 damage. And now we go to turn number... No, it gets to roll. Turn number 3. It rolled a 4-3. Bad for me, because with the 1 shift, it can make this a 3-3, which is a hit. I don't block on a primary 3. I block on a primary 4. So it is going to do D6 minus 3 damage. And it rolled a 6. 6 minus 3, so I'm down to 7 health. Okay, let's go to turn number 4. Now, when you reach turn number 4, both the enemy and I get a bonus 1 shift. So I have 3 shift, and the enemy has 2. I rolled a 4-6. With 3 shift, I can only get that down to a 4-3, which is a miss. So I miss. The enemy rolled a 1-2. With its 2 shifts, it could get this with 1 to a 3, but it could only get this to a 2, so it misses. Turn number 5, we each now get 2 bonus shift. I will attack. I got a 4-1. Well, I've got 4 shift. I could get this easily to a 4-2, but could I get it to a 6-4? It will take 2 to get this to a 6, but I can't get this to a 4. So I will turn that to a 4-2, and it doesn't block on secondary 2s. So it's, again, D6 minus 2. And I rolled a 6 minus 2 is 4, and I kill the fungal geist. So now my XP goes up to 6. And it takes, what does it take to get to level 2? Is it 100? Let's see for you. I think it's 100. To get to level, XP to level up to 2 is 100. So yeah, when I get to 100 XP, I can go to level 2. So that is how combat works, basically. There are some more advanced monsters that have some other things going on, but that was a very basic monster. Now, for treasure, it says D3 Geist mushrooms, which I assume are something I could sell in town. I got three geist mushrooms. So I will track this in the book, 3x geist mushrooms. And before next video, I will figure out what I can do with those. And the enemy is dead. So I'm in this room. I defeated the fungal geist. I got +6 XP. And I always circle it just so I can track it. And no gold. So I need to keep going. So let's go through this unlocked door and see what's beyond it. It is a 3-1, which is a small room. Anytime the room is 6 units or less, so 3 times 1 is it's a very tiny room. You roll on the small room encounter, and that is a table as well. And it says level 1 small rooms. Okay, so it is a 3x1. Oh man, I am so out of my mind right now. That is a corridor. I don't know what I'm doing. It is a corridor that goes like this. So for corridors, sorry, it's been a week or so since I've played this, and I play so many games I often forget things. So the corridor. If you roll a 1 when rolling for room dimensions, you have encountered a corridor. Play the same process. Roll for number of exits as you would a room. So we roll to see how many exits this corridor does. 5, which is 2 exits. So there are 2 exits. All exits in corridors are archways, so you don't have to stop them. But if there was 1, then one of these would have been a dead end. So that's how it plays out. So let's go to the east and see what we find. Another corridor. It goes 1 and 2 up. So I'm up against the wall now. And is that a dead end? No. 4 is 2 exits, but it keeps going. And I can darken this in to indicate it's solid wall. Like that and like that. And let's keep going. Let's go up this hallway. It stays going up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it a dead end? A 5. It is not. Let's keep going. All right, here we go. We have a room that is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 by 3 tall. How many exits? 4 is 2 exits, so I'll put 1 at the top and 1 to the west. Seal this off, and there is my room. We got 1 minute left on the clock before I have to end this video. Let's see what this room is. So again, we go to page 41, 42, and roll 2d6. It's a 1, 2, which is an abandoned guard post. This is room number 2. Abandoned guard post. It says, a small burner provides warmth for 2 chairs around a low table. There's a table with 2 chairs. It is lit and casts shadows. So there is someone here. Roll on L1G. If you survive, roll on table IAUT1. These are reinforced doors, which look like a wood door, but they have a vertical line through it. Are they locked? A 6, all doors are locked. So I will put an L here to indicate it is locked, and that is going to be it for this turn. All right, this is Jim the Tabletop Engineer. Thanks for joining me on this new game of 2d6 Dungeon and Realm. I will be back in the very next episode, and we'll pick up right where we left off. Until then, everybody, take care.
Check out the new RPG and Wargame newsletter. Each week, the Tabletop Engineer shares news, products, Kickstarters, and much more related to the gaming hobby. It's free to subscribe, so check out the link in the video description below to sign up.